So the Army has a lot of rules, like a lot. Think of something that has a lot of rules. The Army has more than that. For instance, fingernails. For a female, 1/4 of an inch. For a male, can't go past the fingertip. Sideburns can't extend down below the bottom of the ear opening. What if your hair crosses your eyebrows? No. Don't cross the strands. The problem is, it's a bit hypocritical. When it comes to benign rules like personal grooming, you'll have a sergeant right up in your face trying to make sure you don't violate the precious letter of the law. If you're gonna get that close, why don't you buy me dinner first? Of course, you can't say that. Unless you really like doing push-ups. Sometimes it's worth it though. The point is, when it came to these silly rules, the sergeants were all about following the letter of the law. Do not come up with your own spirit of the law. Rules must be followed exactly. Unless it's annoying to a sergeant or something, like when you have to fill out 5 redundant forms in order to gain access to a storage container, well then it might be, let's skip a few steps. But Sergeant, I thought the letter of the law was the most important. Unless you're admitting the spirit of the law is more important than the letter. Of course, that's the kind of question that makes you do push-ups. But I had to do something to prove my point. Well, this is a conundrum. Do I tell the sergeant no? Do I deal with that temper tantrum? I mean, rules are rules, right? Or do I try to compromise and bargain, like, we can skip the paperwork if you let me grow a beard? Or do I go through the soldier's handbook, going over rule by rule? There's a lot of rules, but nothing about eyebrows, like, do you need them? There's no rule that says you do. Goodbye, eyebrows. You're about to be sacrificed to make a point. Early the next morning, I head out for PT. It took a couple minutes for the first person to notice, and then only a couple seconds after that for everyone else to be staring at my hairless forehead. Hello, my eyes are down here. So after PT, the sergeants are all gathered in their room. They're trying to figure out what rule I had violated. They're poring over the manual. Ooh, what about this one? Not allowed to do that anymore. Okay. They couldn't find anything, of course, because, well, I had already checked and I know how to read. The only thing they could pin on me was soldiers should always conduct themselves in a professional manner on duty, and they thought I was in violation of the spirit of that law. The spirit of the law? I smiled. I knew I had won. I had proven my point. The spirit of the law is more important than the letter. I mean, it didn't change anything. I still got in trouble. But while I was doing push-ups, I knew I was right. I had no eyebrows, but I was right.